Hey everyone, it's me, the Dr. Pepper Guy, and today, the second video of the new year. It's not that new anymore, but still, one of the starting videos of 2021. Let's stop, I don't know. But yeah, this one of the starting videos of this 2021 is none other than a Kingdom Hearts video. And I would have it no other way. You know what I'm saying? I would have it no other way than for it to be a video about my favorite video game series. Truth be told, this video was supposed to come out in December, actually. Yeah, preferably a month after the game came out. Basically, it's at the same time the spoiler ban for this game got lifted. But so there were some setbacks. There was a point I wasn't feeling well. There were a lot of points where I was lazy. And there was also other points where I was just lazing around playing video games, right? So I'm sorry, but yeah, I'll keep it I'll do in the best of our abilities. I'll try to keep this channel running because I want to and I like to, right? So regardless, today we're gonna be obviously talking about Melody Memory. As you can see from the title, you can see the thumbnail, which is probably bad or something. I don't know. We're going to talk about basically the story cutscenes, the new lore that came within it, within the game, and of course, the future of the series. We're going to be talking about through some of the interviews, just my thoughts on it. Right? I'm just going to be giving my 2 cents on it. And obviously, one thing you got to know is that there isn't going to be any theory crafting in it, no big brain level theories thrown in. I'm not that I don't roll like that. Right? It's just some like, let's say I can't even say speculation. It's mostly discussing, me giving my thoughts on things that I wanted to talk about with the new cutscenes that came out in Melody of Memory, and that's just about it. So it's also not like it's not like a beat to beat breakdown of, like, of the entire entire 30 minutes we got, right? So I don't expect any. So Kairi landed on the final world, and she glides all 3 gliding sections. Nothing like that. So some things that I wanted to talk about in a video. So we're gonna be doing it in a way that's not too long, and that's fast enough, right? And I'm just gonna throw the obvious spoiler warning, because if you're here, then I'm obviously gonna be talking about spoilers, right? So, of course, if you're watching this video already, I'm thinking you're one of the people who beat the game and watch the cutscenes and everything, and is watching this video, or someone who didn't buy the game or didn't beat the game yet, just just own the game, and you're still watching this video, just because you watch the cutscenes on YouTube, or you're someone who doesn't care. I don't see that third category very likely, but you're still here watching, right? Supporting the channel. Nobody gives a fuck about the channel. But anywho, if you fit in any one of these categories, then I guess let's hop in, right? So first of all, the length of the cutscenes, right? 30 minutes. I'm not gonna delve too deep in it because it's been a while, and my thoughts, I think, are gonna be very obvious. I think we're pretty fine. It was pretty fine that it was 30 minutes, and it wasn't like 10 minutes of relevant content and the rest 20 was just straight padding, nothing like that. All of them were packed, all of them were relevant, and the more told us before that. This is more like it's more like a glimpse of the future, or more like a glimpse of what the future is gonna hold for us. And of course, in one of the interviews, I'm pretty sure he said that like basically Melody Memory is like a secret movie. So that fits. Plus, the main goal of this game is like look back on the series, like reuse the series through its music, which is, with the series is pretty well music and all. You know what I'm saying? So that reusing the series, that especially since we got off our first big story arc, and of course take a little bit of glimpse of what the future of the series is gonna hold for us, and I think it does so. Yeah, it excels at that. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Next up is how Kairi was treated. So as you know, not two people were feeling too hot about Kairi high-key taking the L in that cutscene, and for me, yes, it could have been handled better, but does it not make sense? I mean, I wouldn't say that. It definitely makes sense because Kairi didn't really have a big jump to say that, oh, she can, she can solo Master Xehanort on a one-on-one fight. Some of you, maybe, I don't know, maybe some of you might be like, wait, what about that fight with Gortnard? But you gotta know she was there with Rima and Sora. Just like, I think pretty much in Kingdom Hearts 3 it's established that just a fight with, fight when there are different people around, like who are joining forces with you, and the opposing side also having them. It's a whole different thing. Like that type of fight, and just one-on-ones is a whole different conversation, right? In terms of power scaling. So yeah. Plus, it's not like, I mean, yes, she does have her own boxer, but I'm pretty sure, also, I'm gonna pull up these interviews that I've also found recently. It's just that, okay, she's don't expect any this game was never meant to have any major Kairi progression or anything big. It's just like they said before, like a glimpse, right? And I'm fine with it. I get why people are impatient. I kind of do get why people are impatient with it, right? But at the same time, I feel like, okay, if you just wait a little bit, then we're gonna, I think, yeah, it's gonna be fine. That's just my hopes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be right as usual. Or maybe we'll get something even more better than to my expectations, or to what a lot of people expected. But regardless of all that, we still got one thing about our character that's kind of gas, which I'll get to in a moment. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that was great. And the other thing that I really wanted to talk about is how well done Master Xehanort was handled. Like, how well done Master Xehanort's role was. Sorry, how well done his role was. How he was handled. Because, okay, if you follow my Twitter, at Asakura-dan, by the way. I'm just gonna leave it to, link in the description and all that nonsense. So, if you follow me on my Twitter, around the time Melody and Memory got announced, I was one of the people who was not feeling too hot about it, right? Who was not feeling too hot about lore being in a rhythm game. Well, now I'm fine with it. Plus, it's 30 minutes. It's like whatever. But yeah, well, as time went on, I warmed up more to the game, of course. And now I ended up enjoying it. Yeah, it's funny. So. Around that time, right? I'm pretty sure one of the first trailers, or I think it is the first trailer. It's just that, yeah, I'm gonna pull up the shot right there saying that Master Xehanort's backup plan. I was like, this nigga's backup plan was a fucking rhythm game. It actually was just like a little bit of misdirection. His backup plan wasn't exactly that. Obviously, if it was a cutscenes, you know what I'm talking about. What his backup plan was mostly like, he was experimenting on Kairi. We get a small glimpse of her backstory around the time where she was at Radiant Garden, before she came to Destiny Island. So I guess she got a little bit of flashes on her memory, where Master Xehanort is just like, we gonna make you connect with the Keyblade wielder in another world. He's gonna, the general cage talk, like explaining different worlds, and he's just like, all right, if you end up in a world which has neither light nor dark, then mission fails. We'll get him next time. Like, you gotta pack it up. Like, type beat. Like, me like, yo! Right? But yeah, plus, it didn't, yeah, like, what I want to talk about his role is just like, it never felt like, oh, they're holding on to him so they can squeeze more story content out of him. It never felt like that. It never felt like it's the same old routine. We still aren't done with the whole Master Xehanort shit after Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. And also, when I say Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, I'm including both Kingdom Hearts 3 and Remind. I don't know why people exclude it. Whenever I've seen some people like exclude base Kingdom Hearts 3 with Remind, and whenever someone says Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, I mean, if they say Remind exclusively, I think they would just say Remind. But yeah, just like with Kingdom Hearts 3 and Remind, it's just like, we already concluded all that. Like, we still ain't done with that. We still on that same shit. It never felt like that. It more felt like he was just there as a stepping stone. He was just there to like open the pathway for the future storyline. It felt like, okay, we are done with him. It's just that like with what's established with his character, it makes the most sense that Master Xehanort has the position he does with everything. When you add all the conditions, the entire like context and everything to those story, cutscenes, and Master Xehanort being in that role instead of someone like Master of Masters, it's just like, okay, it fits him perfectly, and I don't think even Master of Masters could fill those shoes as good as Xehanort did. That's just how I feel. Now, Akari and Master of Masters interaction would have definitely been cool, but it's just like it is what it is. It is what it is. So I think I liked how it was done. I'm glad one of my initial thoughts when the game was announced was proven wrong. Just all around. I'm just like, right. Next up is just that the fact that Kingdom Hearts is about to get more ambitious. It's really about to get more ambitious, and obviously, I think this is one thing that's been going around, right? That's something that's been growing around the dark as we were progressing forward through the Dark Seeker saga. He said that it's just this the original side of Kingdom Hearts, but because I can't say the KH original, because if I say you get what I'm saying, like the original elements of Kingdom Hearts, the ones which aren't the crossing over with Disney part, the original characters, the original lore, the original story, and everything, the world, they kept growing to a point that is just like, okay, so even people, I think even people felt like the Disney shit, it gotta get reduced. They gotta be more original KH stuff now, because the original KH lore has been growing more and more interesting, and obviously Union Cross has been doing a good job with that. I haven't kept up Union Crossing. I need a whole day to just binge everything that story has. And of course, there's also Dark Road, right? Both of those stories have just been expanding the KH lore in a very great way. From what I did read, they've been doing a great job at expanding everything and adding a lot more to the KH original lore. And as you can see, it links back to the main story. Right, it's just that the KH lore is getting bigger and bigger. KH in general is getting bigger and bigger as a franchise. Everything, this is one of the series that I guess some people don't see it this way. This is one of the series that had to earn its stripes, right, by just putting out multiple titles in handhelds, and also to continue through the story. You see, was also obviously the drawback was you needed to own all these systems to just keep up with the story. To now, where it's just if you have a PS4 or an Xbox, you can easily get the series. If you have a modern day console, you can easily just get the entire series. Granted, except for the or movies, but still, you can still keep up with the story. You can still be on the groove and all that, right? Hello, yes, this is post recording Pepper here. I just wanted to add in a little tidbit, which is just that I forgot about mentioning this in the original recording, I think. So basically, Nomura also said that he's planning to expand his reach. In another interview, it's phrased in a more interesting way, saying that he wants to expand his target audience. But I guess it's a translation thing, different translations, probably that. But regardless, it comes across the same point where Nomura's we got off this new storyline. Let's give them a new entry point. Also, with the fact that the series is now more easily accessible, we're just gonna put the series more out there for fans, and also so that new fans can come in a time like this. And I like that. It's just this shit is definitely just it's getting bigger. There's no denying that, and I'm excited for it. Because just when I say it's getting more ambitious, then you already know what I'm talking about with the existence of Quadratum. That shit is called the city Sora ends up in. It's called Quadratum. That has a nice ring to it, right? The place where your Zora's at, and it's just it's a whole another reality. It's just oh my god, it's just, the possibilities are exciting. And it's not it's being ambitious for the sake of being ambitious. It's okay, we're just gonna overblow the size of the scale. It's just no, it's the right type of ambitious, right? It's not like the bloated type. And I fuck with that heavy. I like it. And I think it's also cause like, plus it's also cause I think we're running out of interesting Disney worlds in Kingdom Hearts. Like, I'm not saying that we should just take out the Disney aspect of it, because the whole Disney aspect of it is still, it still adds to the charm, it still adds to the personality of the series, right? Everything that the series has, like the Disney part definitely adds up to it. It's still an important part of the series, but there is still, like, the rights get more strict, like Frozen. Like, you can clearly see that just Sora, there was like, it felt really odd how Sora is involved with Elsa and the whole Frozen story. Like, the interesting worlds that you do have are either strict, or it's just like you're running out of interesting ones. Of course, there's the Toy Story one. There's still, you can still dabble on with some of them, right? But it's just like, okay, you can't just go ham with the Disney stuff like you once did, or it would just feel too much like the same old, and I don't think Nomura wants that, especially with how he talked about the story. But it's just like, okay, I want to freshen things up with this new storyline. I don't think it's just like, okay, we're just gonna be retreading these old, like, these worlds that we already went through for like second or third time. No, it's just like, yeah, I think just the amount of Disney worlds that we got in DDD would be enough. Plus, it's just that even if the Cage original side grows, there are still some points in it just like, okay, there's some Disney, aspects to it. It's morally linked, right? But it's just like, okay, Kairi is one of the seven princesses of heart, which all those princesses are, of course, Disney princesses, and of course you have the new ones that's added in KH3 and all that, and just like all these Disney princesses, Kairi is also a part of the group. It's like, okay, you can have a KH original character that's linked to these Disney characters in some sort. Also, Fairy Godmother is also Fairy. Like, I'm not. Alright, I'm just gonna add it in there if you. But yeah, she's a link to basically Quadratum, right? Like, she's a major key for how Riku went there, and it's just like, yeah. So there's points like that. They're cool, interesting points, and I think I'm running out of shit to say. I'm gonna be straight with you. But yeah, it's just like I'm just excited for this whole new reality what it's gonna have. Also, some new music by Yoko, because the new tone of music that we did get from the entire Secret episode was just great, right? Yeah, so that all around. And what's next is just that also the possibility of Scala and Kylum being expanded. So of course, in the after credit scene, we get some exciting information. Which okay, I'm getting too hyped with getting onto that, but stay patient with me. Just like, okay, we just like, Yensid says that, oh, Donald like Goofy, you inform the others, basically, the Seesaw trio about this entire situation, and of course, Mickey go to Scarlet Kylum to investigate whatever we could find, because the Lost Masters will definitely, they definitely might know of this entire new reality, like how Xehanort did, because just, yeah. And I mean, I'm also looking forward to that, because Scarlet Kylum is such a cool looking world. It's so huge, like, it's really huge, and of course it did get a little bit more expanded in Remind, but it's just like, I guess it's a different type. I don't know how to exactly say it in a good way, but like, yeah, like, it did get expanded, and it's also an interesting bit with how it looks, right? How it's built, the entire architecture and everything. It's a really interesting place. So for it to see it being more expanded, more explorable areas, probably, I don't know, but it would definitely just, yeah, it would be pretty cool. And of course, even Dark Code is also doing, is also expanding on Scala a little bit more, I guess. There's also that. It's like, yeah, if I do catch up on Union Cross, I'm just gonna put in like an edited video, like a video to add on to this one. Or if I do learn something that isn't like, okay, this is video worthy, I'm just gonna put it in the comments, like an update, all that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And of course, the second one, which I'm just like with Kairi, you already know Kairi training with Aqua. Like, that shit is just surreal to me. That shit actually got me gassed. Like how? Like that's just cool as hell. That's really cool as hell. Like I don't know. It's like it's one of those things that are just like, you know, it's like something like something that would come true in a fan like a fan fiction fan like in the fantasy of fans. What the fuck I'm saying, but you get my point, right? It just for it to be real, it's just like it's real. Like I don't know. It's just crazy. And like I said, that just makes me excited for Kairi's progression. Just the fact alone that she's going to be training with Aqua. Are we gonna get more cool character interactions? I'm down with it. Like more interactions between the Guardians would just just like that would be cool, right? Just like that should just it really just made me excited. And another thing that I really liked about Melody Memory story cutscenes is just that how everything felt fresh and new. How am I breathing into the mic? It feels like I'm breathing into the mic, but yeah. How everything felt fresh and new. It didn't feel like it really did feel it felt the way that a start or something that's leading on to an entirely new story arc should, especially especially after having a big story arc that went on for a long time like we did. The story feeling this fresh is great. Of course, like basically like in Limit Cut, the cutscene where we had with Limit Cut and Secret Episode, but okay, let's just say Limit Cut, it just felt more like post Xehanort stuff, right? It's like, okay, we're just dealing with the consequences of what happened. It didn't feel like, oh, you're in new territory. No, it's just like, okay, we're moving past the old territory. Here's something like a little glimpse of what's going on. Like we're over, but of course we're moving on with it. That's how it felt. And Secret Episode is just like, oh, this is over for real. Like this story is actually like this long story arc is over for real. That's the feeling I feel like the secret endings in the Secret Episode conveyed. It's just like, oh, this is actually for real over. There's just that ceiling thing. What the fuck? That feeling sinks in. Sorry. And with Melody and Memory, it feels fresh, like the way it should, and I love it. And with just like with how Nomura said that he's trying to freshen up things, I love it. Also because I don't think this is one thing that I don't see legit anyone talking about. It's just that how Nomura as a writer is just improving for somewhere like KH2 to 3. You could see like just how he writes, like how he makes the story structure in KH2 to 3. It's like the improvement just shows clearly, in my opinion. Right, in KH2, after the whole Roxas prologue, it doesn't feel like the story moves. The story feels static, and in turn, it just kind of creates a sense of boredom. Like it doesn't convey that kind of motivation for you if you're someone who's just like engaged with the story. Obviously you would enjoy the gameplay because it's Kingdom Hearts 2, right? Obviously you would enjoy the gameplay, that's no doubt about that, but you still get that odd feeling like this isn't hitting the way it can, because it's just because of the story just feeling so damn static until obviously you get to the midpoint, and then after you get to the revisiting world, it gets back to the kind of static feeling. And of course when you add the pacing to it, it's just like, yeah, it's just like I'm not saying like KH2 isn't a good game. It's like some of y'all will be deep throating it too much to the point that y'all will never say shit like this. But yeah, I'm not saying, obviously I'm not saying that KH2, I'm not gonna sit here and say that KH2 has bad story moments. It has amazing story moments, hands down. There's no denying that. But here's one thing: good story moments don't mean an overall good storyline. You can have some mid-ass shit. Just imagine the most garbage-ass shit in your mind, or the mid-ass shit in your mind, just a peak mediocrity, right? Even like that certain thing can have great moments too, but those great moments doesn't make it great overall. You get what I'm saying? So the same thing with KH2, like, which in my opinion makes me feel like the overall story is on the weaker side, which is just how the pacing and story structure is done. It's just so damn flawed to me, and it just like in replays it shows even more, and it just sucks, right? So now going to KH3, it's just like everything pre Endgame. It just feels like, oh, it's just like preparations for the war. When you actually pay attention to the cutscenes and just like to all the story bits that's going on, it's just like, oh, it's contributing to important points later on to the story. It's also creating like certain mysteries, that also certain interview that is gonna be solved in an interesting way, right? It's just like, okay, we're just gonna build up to end some of these plot points in Kingdom Hearts 3, and of course at the same time we're gonna create some plot points that we're gonna carry out through later installments. Right, it's not only just like that. It's not from the prologue to later on. It does feel like with the cutscenes and the updates that you get, it does feel like the story is moving. Like the story feels like it's constantly moving. So I feel like, okay, the story structure is just improved, and yeah, I like it. Right now, that's all I gotta say. Like, I fuck with that, and I don't see even people who fuck with Curiously Heavy. I don't see people bringing that up. That's how I feel. So yeah, I don't know if people came to this part, because I feel like this is like the best part of the video. That's just how I feel. Like, that's just about my opinion. If you disagree, fuck your bitch ass. It's cool, I don't care. I just wanted to pull up with the ignorance or something, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about this video. Thankfully it isn't like 30 minutes long. It's still long, but it's fine. I think it is moderately placed. I'd like it. Yeah. So, do you have anything to share? I have something to share. Particularly, shout out to my nigga Windy, by the way. Here's his ad you're gonna see in the tweet that I throw in. He made, and that's an interesting ass. Like, the way he linked it up, like whatever is going with Melody of Memory with KH1 secret ending is so dope. I wanted to put it out here. Also, another thing about these series that are pretty neat is that I'm not someone who goes wow at every, like, Kingdom Hearts theory that's ever made. I'm not someone who goes like, okay, Nomura plants everything from the start type beat. No, I don't really think that, but there's just some moments written in this series. I was about to say in these series, but in this series, there's some moments where, which are written in this series with the way it's written. It's just like it can't be something you can just come up on a whim. Like, there's no way it isn't connected, right? It doesn't feel like it's a reach to say that, okay, this is planned. That's just how I feel, right? Yeah. That's dope as hell. And also, one of the detail is just like, I seen a certain tweet, right? I can't find it, but certainly do link it if you do find it. It's just that how the base KH3 secret ending, how the score it plays is also called Another Side, right? Which is it's the same score that plays in KH1 secret ending. It's also there in KH3. It's called Another Side, and also playing the fact that it's another reality is just, that's smart. That's cool. Like, like that is cool. I like this fandom. I like this fan base. But yeah, definitely do follow him and all that. And just, do you have anything interesting to say? Just drop it in. Obviously, as you know, subscribe, like, and comment. I sometimes do videos like this. I play games, talk about games. I do stupid shit, and I all do them in a mediocre manner. That's just me. I do it, and most importantly, do it like me, which is, you can find better ways, but like, yeah, I'm not doing a good job at selling this shit, right? Anyway, subscribe, like, and comment. We're a few away from 200. Hopefully, we're drawing closer and closer to that 1K. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you watched this entire average ass video, then I'm glad. Right? I'm glad that you watched this average ass video. I hope this interested you. I'm trying to improve as well, to the point that I'm just like, okay, I'm happy with this. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all later. Bye.